After traveling more than 45,000 miles this year across 4 continents, we kept coming back to the same question. Why do some moments stay with you while others disappear the second you leave?
It wasn't the big bucket list sites. Those memories are easy, but even those felt different this year.
It was the things we didn't expect, the patterns that kept showing up again and again.
And heading into 2026, 5 of those things are reshaping how we think about travel, and honestly, how we move through the world.
I'm Judy.
And I'm Kevin. Welcome back to Finding Gina Marie, where we share our lives as full-time travelers and the connections we make along the way.
Looking back, the first thing that kept showing up was something simple. And while I think in some respects it shouldn't have surprised us, it still did. It was the kindness of strangers. In places we didn't know the neighborhoods, we didn't know the language, and we didn't always know what we were doing.
In Santiago, Astrid, who was just one of our viewers, gave up a full day to show us around.
And on that same trip, a guard opened a building that wasn't giving tours that day, and then someone else offered us some local wine to taste, just for free, just out of the kindness of their hearts.
And then her parents spent nearly 2 days hosting us in Viña del Mar. It wasn't sightseeing. It felt like we were just hanging out with family. In Melbourne, people weren't just friendly. They were generally curious about our lifestyle, how we travel full-time in our 60s. In fact, we went back to the same place for breakfast a few times, and they would check in on us. Oh, yeah, you're the couple that travels all the time. That's fascinating. Where are you going next?
We have a video about Melbourne coming to you next week, but the people there were incredibly kind. And there was Denise in Malta. She's a hairdresser, and she made me feel so comfortable. I felt like I'd been going to her for years.
And I just walked Judy to the hair shop so she wouldn't get lost. And she's like, "You're leaving? You can come in and stay. We can have a chat." It's like, wow, that's really nice of you.
Yeah, she definitely made everybody who came in feel extremely welcome. And I enjoyed it enough that I went back 2 other times to have extra treatments done.
So not the cheapest hairdresser. What's interesting to me is how one comment from a stranger can change your whole perspective on a place or what you're doing.
Yeah, and that kept happening all year long. Just the kindness of strangers kept showing up for us. But it wasn't just kindness. I think places became even more beautiful when we understood what they'd been through and what they survived.
When we entered the old town of Mostar, it was picture perfect. It looked like a postcard. We were thrilled by everything around there. But the real beauty came out when we understood what these people have gone through and how much this bridge meant to them.
And in Sarajevo, the resilience of that city just stays with you. You can just feel what it's lived through.
And Berlin surprised us too. The balance between beauty and memory here is something really special.
Some places are beautiful because they healed, not because they never broke.
If you've ever been to a place where the beauty and the history hit you at the same time, we'd love to hear your story in the comments. And then there were the places that asked a little more of us, the places that wanted us to feel 2 things at the same time.
For sure, I felt that way about Tbilisi. It didn't really resonate with us at first, but the more time we spent there, the more we got to know the people and hear the stories, it grew on us for sure. We've noticed that some cities open more slowly.
In Yerevan, the heat was overwhelming, and the fact that we had some air conditioning problems added to that. But the people, the culture, carried the whole experience for us. It elevated that city.
And Dubrovnik, getting sick there changed everything. I think sometimes it's not just the city or the place that you're visiting, but yourself that you bring to it and having to overcome your own personal struggles.
And then there was Uruguay, a place we were incredibly happy that we saw, but didn't leave the biggest impact on us. It's like sometimes you see a movie and you want to see that movie again and again. And other times you see a movie and you are really glad you saw it, but you're probably never going to watch it one more time.
Yeah, I definitely felt that way. Colonia del Sacramento is beautiful, but it was really tiny. And then Montevideo, it was lovely, but it just didn't have the kind of sights or noteworthiness that made us want to remember it as a standout place to visit. We're glad we experienced it, but yeah, I don't think it's a place we would jump to go back to.
Yeah, there's just a lesser impact for us.
And that's okay. Not every place has to be a favorite.
Exactly. I think every place gives you something worthwhile, even if it's only understanding your tastes better.
San Jose wasn't an instant hit for us either. We realized very early on that we really should have been out in nature a lot more than inside a city. But we had this great experience at Groove Restaurant with some of the coolest owners that we've encountered, and that made it worthwhile.
It felt like they were welcoming us to dinner every time. Like, wow, this is fantastic. I'm so glad we found this place and we spent the time in a city, in a country that you're not supposed to. Sometimes the mistakes are really good for your travel.
And I think that's the whole point. You can love a place and still struggle with it. Both truths can stand at the same time. And when you land somewhere that doesn't quite fit, you can still learn something from it. You just may have a different experience than the one you were intending to have.
I think that's the point. You have to be open to what you might experience, even if it doesn't meet your first expectations. With all that said, there were moments that caught us off guard in the best possible way. Iguazu Falls, for example, makes you feel tiny. I was not prepared for the impact of that visual.
Yeah, it was completely magnificent. Took our breath away. Both sides of the falls. And while Machu Picchu is for sure a bucket list destination, what I didn't expect was how beautiful and how much I would enjoy Sacred Valley. I was just blown away by the beauty and the silence and the reverence there.
I think it's interesting when you go to a place to see one thing and you find out that everything else around it really is what stays with you.
Yeah, I actually think more so than even Machu Picchu.
Yes. Living in Texas for so many years, Mexico didn't seem like an exotic destination, but Mexico City surprised us. The people, the culture, the food, everything about it was much more than we expected. And San Miguel, what a charming town, and the people we spent time with there elevated that as well.
I was actually surprised by how artistic it was.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to have so much beauty everywhere. And I have to talk about Malta again, because being there with our daughter, that just elevated the experience tremendously. I think any time that you get to make special memories with people you love makes the destination special.
And when you have a destination that you really appreciate, like London, and when our daughter said how much she loved London, you could just see Judy's eyes light up. She's like, oh, a place that I care about and someone I love cares about it too now? That raises every bar.
I don't think that awe always has to be dramatic, but sometimes just having that experience just lifts us up as human beings.
And because of all that, the kindness, the resilience, the contradictions, and the awe, something unexpected happened.
We started realizing that home wasn't a place we arrived into. It's more of a feeling that envelops us.
In Calgary, it felt like home because of the rhythm of our lifestyle there.
Interesting. And also, I felt like Berlin felt the same way, maybe because it's been so long since we've had autumn anywhere. And that felt like home to me as well.
And it felt like a very warm, friendly neighborhood too, which was very homey. And in Hobart, Tasmania, it was the quiet. This is a very cool looking town that you just wander about and just feel peaceful in.
Kevin always says that home isn't a place. It's something that we make.
And this year it showed up in the moments we felt most ourselves.
So heading into 2026, these are the things we're carrying with us. Not to chase the perfect destination, but to pay attention to the things that actually stay with us.
The beauty, the challenges, the people, the moments that surprised us. They're shaping the way we move through the world now.
And if any of this feels familiar, then maybe these miles weren't just ours.
Here's to moving through the world with a little more intention, and we can't wait to share what's next. Thanks for sticking with us. The next video you think you'll love is the 5 places that changed us, and you can find it right here.
If you haven't already subscribed, we would love for you to do that. And the best compliment you can give to us is to share our videos with your friends and family.
And remember to
wander more,
worry less,
and bring a passport.
Until next time.
Until next time.